Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to CRN. We are here with the Damon Truck Series regular season, final race of the regular season here at Daytona International Speedway. Definitely going to be a fun one out here tonight. I'm joined in the broadcast booth with Tyler Skozen, as he's going to help call the action out here tonight at Daytona in the Truck Series. It is also the final dash for cash race of the season. Going to look and see who made the final dash for cash. Give me one quick second. Let me find it. And we'll be good to go. Is is looking for this. There it is. The announcements: top four drivers going to be in it are going to be dash for cash is going to be Chris Zofield in that race as driver number one. Second driver in it is going to be Kerry Cleaver. Third driver is going to be Jay Monin. And our fourth and final driver for the Dash for Cash is going to be Gary Smith. So there's your four cars being the Dash for Cash recipients here tonight. Oop, sorry about that. So those are four drivers for the Dash for Cash. So go to keep an eye on those drivers. Obviously, they have the Dash for Cash, uh, Dash for Cash banners on their trucks, but still anything can happen. Obviously, it is Daytona. It's going to be a wild one out here tonight. I ran it last night, like I've been saying in the other stream. But Tyler, what's your incentive here tonight, especially for Daytona, for a lot of these drivers? Obviously, you know, 80 laps caution or stages is going to be called on lap number 25 and lap number 50, and then a 30 lap dash to the end. What's it going to take for a lot of these drivers to get back from the back all the way up to the front, or potentially stay from the front and stay in the front?
Don't get in a wreck. Simple as that, really. I mean, it's Daytona. These drivers know what they're getting into. It's going to be wild. You have plenty of tensions. You got the dash for cash, and then, of course, final regular season race as well here. So these drivers are going to come to the green here, get this 80 laps at Daytona underway.
Yeah, green flag already out and rolling here tonight. Is so far still neck and neck between the 84 and the number 3 machine. Obviously, you don't want to get too much of a jump on the driver you have behind you. Is Christopher Cash all over the back bumper, the number 82 of Brock Whitehead in that group 101 or 1001. And that's another thing that you don't want to do. You do not want to push the pusher. That could potentially be very, very bad for anybody out there doing that. But a lot of people do end up doing it. So Kevin Coleman going to work his way up to the outside. He's going to be with his teammate in the number 84 of Eddie Baker. Is they're going to drop just one spot, maybe potentially two. I mean, Daytona in the trucks, you kind of want to be on that outside. Yes, the side draft works on both sides, but being on that outside, you have the clean run. You do whatever you need to do. But looks like right now that inside lane is really showing the dominant side.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see that pretty much most of the night here. I mean, it's Daytona. Your drivers are going to always want to be on the bottom. I mean, especially the only part of the bottom that's going to be tricky are the drivers who are behind the leaders because not going to have that much room to go. The guys on the outside have a lot more space they can work with here, like the 00 of Kevin Coleman leading the outside right here. So we'll see what he's able to do. And you mentioned it. Don't push the pusher. Like you, I've been in these races plenty of times before, plenty of different race cars. So this track ain't easy. You got to have so many factors that you got to have in your head here as well. Here, 84, Eddie Baker drifting up the racetrack just a little bit. Not going to hurt that top lane momentum whatsoever. They're going to stay side by side They're going to have that run off the top, though, exiting turn 2 here. It's going to stay side by side down the backstretch.
Yeah, they're going to keep them side by side where they need to make them, as having a truck towards the back, doing a little bit of a blinky blink stage back there. Is that bottom lane is not really secured. You see the 38 kind of bouncing up and down, can't really hold the line down on that inside, and that is monumental, especially at any type of speedway racing. You got to be able to hold that inside lane, keep your car as straight as you possibly can, just because, I mean, anything can happen. You definitely want to make sure that everything is straight, everything's good to go, and then move on from there.
Yeah, it's going to continue to be tricky. The only other thing, especially about Daytona, that these drivers are going to want to remember, obviously, is going to be the patience. When is the right time to go? When is the right time to just stay behind the driver, continue to push? When do you want to make the moves? Obviously, these drivers are going to stay side by side. No big harm, no foul right now. These drivers running pretty clean. They are doing some pushing, though, especially in the corner, which is definitely going to be the tricky part. But good thing in these trucks, you can push in the corner. I've done it before, but obviously got to be careful when doing it. It's not an easy task. That's why you see most of the drivers push on the straightaways because that's when they have good forward momentum off the corners. And it's really helping the 00 of Kevin Coleman as he is going to search the lead. The 84 Baker drifting up the racetrack, but it's going to be Kevin Coleman clearing for the lead.
Yeah, Kevin Coleman clearing for the race lead, and I think that's what he wants to do. He wants to have him and his teammate both control both lanes. Is Christopher Cash going to make that middle lane work right now? Look at the
Oh,
run that he's going to have, but it's going to stall out as he's going to be the only one in the middle, but he made it work, and now everybody's going to be
wow.
following behind him. That's something you don't really get to see a lot, as the middle lane, the only truck in the middle lane was those two, or was the number 69 and already the 9 of Clifford Corvo in the pit lane.
Now, I mean, I just talked about patience, and basically what we just saw by Christopher Cash was pretty interesting. Obviously, he wasted no time. I mean, hey, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that to work. Like you said, he was probably gonna go right down the middle, which is what we are gonna probably see usually at these super speedways when you have no help. But hey, he got through there, got to the middle, and the outside lane got reformed, and now he's battling for the lead here. So overall, not bad. We'll see them continuing to lead here. 00. Kevin Coleman continuing to hold on as the drivers are now coming down pit road here. Looks like Gary Smith is bringing it down pit road. And of course, it looks like Dylan has just had to step away for a quick moment. So we're going to focus on the 3 truck here going down pit road. Obviously, I will see continuing what's going on with the lead pack. Christopher Cash continuing to is currently the leader right now. Kevin Coleman on the outside, he is stuck all by himself. We will see if these drivers decide to bring it down pit road as well here. There's about 5, 6 different trucks right now on the racetrack, elite trucks at least in the draft here. And we'll see if they decide to bring it down pit road. It doesn't look like they will. Not this time by.
Yeah, already 7 to 8 laps in, and already seen some pit stops. So, 8. You can only go 8 laps on a tank of fuel in the
Interesting.
truck, and yeah, that's very interesting. There's going to be a lot of pit pit stops here. Unless maybe they can go more than 8 laps, or just try to cut the stage in half. Because I mean, it's 25 laps. They're going to cut it to where they know that they can make it to the next stage, I guess you could say, and then move their way up there. But Christopher Cash going to lead these drivers with the race lead. Definitely going to be something of fun out here to watch, as they're all doing what they need to do.
Yeah, we got about, I mean, we got those 5 right there close to each other. Then we got 3 more lacking behind just a little bit, trying to hold the draft and get back with these leaders right now. But it's Brock Whitehead on the outside, leading with the push from, it looks like Charles Whitehead right now. On the top, they're going to work together. Little loses the 51, but he keeps it going straight here. Not much organization on the bottom. We'll see if the 35 of Justin Osterman is going to help on the outside, but right now it's going to continue to help with the 82 as he's going to try to clear through the lead. Is Christopher Cash trying to bring it back on the bottom. Whoa. as Charles Whitehead on the bottom right now, barely with some aggressive pushing, going over and forth on that line, a lot sideways there. Jumps back up in front of the 69, and there he goes. He's gonna go
All right, man.
around.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Yeah, that was interesting. The 51 got really loose there. Well, that's a way to start.
Gonna go ahead and look back at the CR. Oh, Christopher
Mm,
Cash. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and rewind that just a little bit, see what happens here. The 51 going below the yellow line, came back up in front of Christopher Cash. Christopher Cash gave him that one bump. That's going to
one
set
too
him
many.
down. You can see he's trying to come back up. Christopher Cash trying to get out of the throttle to not get involved. It's
Yeah.
not going to be enough. He's going to hit Cletus McFarland's mullet on that outside of the number 35, Justin Osterman. And yeah, that's going to be our first caution flag of the race. And, you know, all the drivers that had pit on lap number 8, it kind of benefits them now because they've
Yeah.
had that caution.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see now how these guys will play out. It looks like I believe they all did stay on the lead lap, so I imagine these leaders will probably bring it down pit road. I don't know exactly the fuel window here, so again, I'm sure the leaders will bring it down pit road. I doubt the guys who already pitted will bring it down pit road unless anybody decides to top off on fuel to make it to the end of this stage in 15 laps. So we will see what these guys do, as I believe pit road is open this time by.
Yeah, pit road going to be open this time by everybody going to go into pit lane. Take some time getting some fresher tires. Well, I don't know about tires, but maybe
Nah, I doubt it.
I don't think they're going to take tires, but I think they're going to just do fuel only and go.
Yeah, should be a quick stop here. And most of these leaders probably bring it down pit road this time by. It looks like, yes, pretty much everybody bringing it down. See if anybody decides to stay out. I don't see any yet. Yeah, there's a few. And should be some quick stops here, I believe. Probably will be some gas and go pit stops. Yep, looks like they are off pit road in just about 4 or 5 seconds. So that should be some stops here. It looks like a couple guys did stay out here as well. Looks like it's most of those guys that brought it down pit road the first time by. Trying to see everybody who stayed out. Looks like Justin Osterman, who was in that wreck, he's still out on the racetrack. So is Robert Gillard, Chris Zofeld, TJ Hanley, Jay Monin, Gary Smith, and then as well as Justin Potts. They are all out there still, did not bring it in.
Yeah, they last pit on lap number 6. They are going to stay out. And obviously, you don't really have to worry about Robert Gillard or Clifford Cordovo. They're Robert Gillard and Clifford Cordovo both multiple laps down. Don't really have to worry about them taking over any positions on the racetrack, but anything can happen. Obviously, they got one more stage to go for a caution flag. But the way that we've been racing so far, I'd say there's going to be another caution.
Yeah. If we just saw an incident there with
Why?
2 trucks basically at the start, I mean, I'm sure there'll be plenty more. Still got time.
All right, Tyler, I got a serious question for you. This is
Go
unrelated
for it.
to racing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, tortilla. Do you have a Costco near you?
I don't. Nope.
Okay. Do you know what tortilla strips are? Tor-
I'm a little familiar with the topic. I don't know if I'd say very, but
okay.
I'm aware.
So I'm sitting here eating some Costco Rojo's street corn dip.
Okay.
I took out a tortilla strip that had a perfect scoop to scoop for the street corn dip, and I used the back of the scoop to scoop up the street corn dip. I guess, according to my buddy, I made him mad because you're not supposed to use the back of the scoop. You're supposed to put the corn dip in the middle of the scoop.
Um, I would say that would be an interesting move. I've never heard of anybody doing it that way. So overall, I mean, it's
He said it's
not
an
bad. I guess that's a
interesting
winning
move.
move.
It's a winning move. Ha!
There you go. You know what? That's a good translation.
But yeah, so I'm just sitting here snacking on some street corn dip, waiting for these smoked ribs to finally be done. Maybe 4 o'clock in the morning they'll be done or something.
Oh yeah. Mm-mm.
But yeah, I was up for 24 hours.
That'll do it.
Pace lights off on the official iRacing pace truck. Going around turns number 3 and 4. The truck's going to take the hard left into pit lane. It's going to be Justin Potts and Gary Smith leading these drivers back to the green flag.
See how this shakes out here. Obviously, all those drivers that just brought it down pit road, you can see them right there in the back on the bottom lane. We'll see how they decide to race these guys up front who brought it down pit road earlier. As we come to the line, it looks like there's going to be 12 laps to
Green,
go
green,
before the
green.
end of the stage.
Yeah, green flag back out in the air. Looked like Justin Potts got a little bit too much of a gap. Got a little bit too much of a gap there, but it kind of worked out in his favor as the number 3 was able to drop down behind him, get in lane. And now you got the 38, the 3, and the 08 all pushing each other. You got the 82 and the number 69 up at the top shelf, pushing them along with the number 86 and the number 64. It may say 69 on your screen, but it is the number 64 of Kerry Cleaver, the final driver of the Dash for Cash. Is 38 holding strong down there on that inside lane, but now you got to worry about him running out of fuel as the stage ends on lap number 25.
Be curious to see how they do run on fuel because obviously right before that caution, those drivers that brought it down pit road the last time ended up running about 3 laps longer. Big contact from behind. Looks like that's a 64, and there
All right,
goes
man,
the
caution is
86,
out.
and that's
Caution
a
is out.
big wreck. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, so that's involving Christopher Cash. Quite a few more. It looks like that's the 47 spinning on the infield. That just took out about half of the field.
Yeah, you want to talk
Big
about a yard
damage.
sale. That was a
Oof.
big
Yeah,
old yard
let's see.
sale. The 64 getting a bad shot. It's all going to happen around Hunter Bogdan and then the number 86. Pushing it 3 wide, Christopher Cash. Oh, they just kind of
Mm.
met in the middle. A little bit of net code.
Mm-hmm.
Net code started it. Well, the wreck ended up finishing it as a yard sale for the number 86, the 80 or 69, 88, 64, 84, 00, 47 is going to come in there like a bat out of hell. Arc a break weekly. Uh, yeah, it's just not something that I mean. Granted, you can't really say arc a break, but with being Daytona, the brakes don't really work like they used to before, and just it is really hard to get the truck or the car slowed down to an appropriate speed to not get involved in a wreck.
Yeah, that's especially on these trucks. I've dealt with it plenty of times. I've had arc brake moments, before too. So I mean, all depends on the brake bias these drivers have set up and all that. So I mean, what can you do there? That track was pretty much the track was blocked. So I mean, pretty much hold the brake and hang on.
Yeah, but now you're going to warrant yourself your only fast repair of the night. Obviously, you didn't want it to see go away on lap number 16 out of 80. Now your whole driving style is going to be completely different.
Yeah, it's gonna be completely different. Drivers are probably gonna hope to be more careful, but I mean, hey, those drivers that were in the back there, most of them that got collected in this wreck were there in the back. I don't know if they were just hanging out, hoping nothing big would happen, and then this happened. So I'll be curious to see what drivers do here from the rest of the race. So a lot of damaged trucks though.
I could honestly see maybe I don't know. I mean, Daytona's got that certain energy that where they don't really care how they
Yeah,
drive. They know that that's what they got to do to be up towards the front. And most times, better than not, it does end up working out in their favor. Other times, it does not work out. So definitely going to be something fun to watch. Obviously, Daytona is one of those races where you're like, oh, it's a play track, whatever. But it's the end of the regular season, so
hmm
points are on the line. Playoffs are on the line as well. If people are in based on points, they really need the points, so they got to drive the the proper way.
yeah. I mean, Daytona's its own beast. You know, it's so unpredictable. Drivers don't know what is going to happen. If something does happen, could happen at the spur of the moment. Who knows? I mean, I didn't expect a big wreck like that to happen on lap 15 here. Just these trucks just seem super out of control, super loose, tough to handle, and yeah, we'll see how this continues for the next 64 laps. To bring it this time by, I would imagine, with one lap to go.
Yeah, I could possibly see that. But what I really want to see though is green flag pit stops. I like
Mm-hmm.
seeing how these drivers go through and do the green flag pit stop, especially at any kind of plate track. Obviously, you don't want to Derek Ware somebody or anything like that, but I want to see their strategy going into pit lane. Obviously, in the Mars Truck Series, we've seen different strategies. One getting a little bit too hot going through the grass, somehow not looping it right in front of somebody, and the other one they did end up looping it. So it's all about how you get in and out of pit road. That could be the defining factor between gaining several spots or losing several spots.
Yeah, and the difference, especially between this track and Atlanta, is that this track, it's a lot, at least I'd say a lot easier to enter pit road because you got the whole front stretch tri-oval to get on the brakes, not really doing much turning until you are fully on pit road. So, not bad, but then the only tricky thing about it is navigating yourself around the trucks. Be careful that the brakes don't lock up on you, you don't wheel hop or anything, hit another truck. So, I mean, trucks are on the top, they're gonna have to communicate with the ones on the bottom, make sure that they don't all come in at the same time. So we'll see what these are like. Hopefully, we get some green flag stops soon as well.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something fun, and hopefully we get to see. I mean, obviously Daytona, you don't want to be pacing around the whole night. You want to get some green flag laps in. You want to do this, you want to do that, and doing that could really help everybody out. Obviously this league starting just a little bit later in the night. Everybody's wanting to hurry up and get off their sim rigs, and they want to hurry up and go to bed or even go to work. So definitely want to see this race go green. See some green flag pit stops, and the only other caution flag that I want to see is for the end of the stages. So coming up on lap number 18 out of 25 for the first stage, just a couple little lap dash shootout to decide who's our stage winner. It's going to be the number 38 and the number 3 on the front row. 38 is going to get a little bit of a jump. The 3 is going
Green,
to
green, green.
jump down behind him if he
Whoa.
can. He's there, but he's not going to be able to get down there as Brock Whitehead got right up on that back bumper pretty quickly.
And now talk about a restart that just had huge movement. The 38 took off super early, tried to throw off everybody, and I'd say did just that. And now they're gonna be side by or single file for a little bit until the 3 jumps up. Now the 82 is gonna jump up here. Single out. Oh my goodness, the 3 is trying to wreck the 38. They keep it going. Oh my goodness, they all hang on, but it is Justin Potts hanging on for the lead. Now they're gonna go 3 wide. Up the middle goes Kevin Coleman battling for the lead. Not going to get there.
Yeah, not going to be able to get there as Brock Whitehead got just freight trained on that outside lane. He made the jump up to the outside. The three fed him a dummy. He went down to the inside to be with the number 38. And now you got more cars on that outside than you do on that inside. And the top two are formed fairly well. Then you got the father-son group of Brock and Charles Whitehead. Charles not really holding the line the way he needs to hold it, but that corner there was fairly better than the other ones.
Hmm.
Gets a little bit touchy with the number three machine, but able to keep it straight. And yeah, I don't think anybody's racing is going to change whether they got a fast repair or not.
Yeah, not at all. The
Oh,
38 hangs onto it. What a save. That's going to stack everything up. One truck in the back is going to hang on. And oh my goodness, these guys are not slowing down.
All
Look
right,
at
man.
this
Caution is
as the
out.
yellow
Caution is
is
out.
out again.
the caution flag is out, but I don't see anybody stopped on the racetrack.
Fun flag?
Or maybe that was the stage. Was it 20 or was it 25? If it was 20, then I lied. It was lap 20.
There we go. Well, hey, that'll do it. What a stage finish.
Yeah, so Brock Whitehead going to be able to get this stage win here tonight. His dad was trying really, really, really hard to get that stage win, just not able to do it. Stage number two is going to come on lap number 40 and then a 40 lap dash. That sounds a lot better than 25, 50, and
That
80.
does.
Yeah,
There we go.
so uh, Brock Whitehead collecting another stage win on the season. Definitely going to be something fun out here to watch. Is now it comes up to how aggressive does everybody else want to be to get a stage win?
Obviously very, because we just saw it right there at the end there. Both the father and son duo were going back and forth up the racetrack, below the racetrack, and we saw a truck. We saw a few trucks just about get wrecked. I believe it was Justin Potts. I mean, what a save he had there in turn two, hanging on. He tried to get beneath another truck, barely hung on. But hey, I mean, this tells me that drivers are willing to do anything for a stage win.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it is Daytona. Definitely going to be something different. But I mean, if you're Brock Whitehead and you got the stage win here and you come out in first, are you going to drop back a couple of spots that way somebody else can lead so you can save a little bit of fuel and then bring yourself back up through the field, or are you just going to try to hold yourself up to that P number one?
Well, I mean, I guess it all depends on what the driver thinks of the current state of the field right now. Obviously, they're all super aggressive right now. I'm sure you obviously want to be up front as much as possible, lead some laps. But I mean, hey, come down pit road, save some fuel. You know, no harm in that. You still got just less than 60 laps to go. As it looks like he's gonna bring it down here to pit road. A couple are gonna stay out. We got one, and it looks like only one.
Yeah, one driver stayed out. I'm not exactly sure who it was. I think it was Bryce. Yeah, Bryson Colwell stayed out. So
Okay.
he stayed out to get the lucky dog or the
Okay.
wave around.
Gotcha.
So that's why he couldn't go in. So he's going to be back on the lead lap. But now he's going to have to pit if he's able to, and then hopefully make it to the end of the stage. But with the race, with the way that the race is going, you don't really have to worry about anything like that because there's going to be another caution coming out here soon.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be hopefully these drivers maybe we'll see if they do. See if they do maybe save a little bit of fuel. They were single file for just a little bit of time, not very much. But yeah, I would imagine probably I guess one pit stop, minimum, maybe two. Um, during this stage, we'll see whether it's green flag or under caution as a whole. But all of them bringing down pit road here, obviously. So we will see where they cycle out and how much longer they'll wait till they have to pit again.
Yeah, definitely want to get a good field number for pit stops. Obviously, some drivers cutting it in half. Uh, I know they run 65% fuel, so that's about um, 13 gallons, give or take. Can't really remember how many gallons per lap, so or how many laps for the 13-gallon tank, but I know we ran 65 in the Monday Night League in the next gen. Obviously, it's a bigger fuel tank. I was getting 26 laps per tankage use, so I don't know, but it's definitely different. It looks a little bit foggy out there on the racetrack as well. Not sure if that's just due to it being nighttime here in virtual Daytona or if they got it set up that way.
Probably just Daytona thing, Daytona does whatever it does. It's always rainy here, but been lucky enough to not have any rain, which is obviously perfect. But yeah, I would imagine track conditions, overall will stay the same the rest of this field. It'll just be a matter of how aggressive will these drivers be? Obviously, we've seen it plenty of times throughout the night. And then obviously, will they pit in this stage as well?
Yeah, I really wish there was somebody in Discord we could pull in.
I wish we had a rules analyst. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be actually pretty dope. Um, not seeing anybody in Discord other than Kevin, and I don't want to take him away. Everybody else, okay, so Bryson, Charles, Brock, and Christopher Cash are all in the other Smoky Mountain Grassroots Discord, so that's where they're talking. So not going to be able to pull anybody in and see what was going to happen. I know there for a while these trucks actually went to the big oval of Indianapolis, and I had
Whew.
made a deal with Bryson Colwell, like, hey, put me in the truck. You go up to the broadcast booth. I'll race that race for you, just because Indianapolis is my home track. Uh, and I love Indianapolis. I mean, who doesn't? Indianapolis always puts on great racing. But
Mm-hmm.
it just, I know so many little tips and tricks to that track that I just, man, I, if there's a league dedicated to just running Indianapolis in the
Green,
truck
green, green.
or car or anything like that, oh yeah, I'm there every single week. But there's not, so I can't, beggars can't be choosers. But every time we come up to a race that has Indianapolis on the schedule, I'm waiting for that race because, man, if I could, I'd race it every single time. But we're back to green flag racing. It looks like Brock Whitehead able to get back out to the race lead. He's going to have Kevin Coleman all over his back bumper, the father of Brock. Going to jump up to the outside with Justin Potts and Gary Smith. So looks like Charles Whitehead trying to bum rush his way up to the front. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Charles is going to wait till he gets ahead of Brock, and Charles will probably jump down in front of Charles.
Oh,
And no, it's the other way. Brock's going to jump up in front of
oh,
Charles on that outside lane.
oh,
And now a
oh.
crossover. He fed him a dummy. Charles down to the inside. Does Charles get the lap led? No, it's still with Brock.
Hey, you were just talking about the father-son duo, but boy, these two do not care about each other's race. That's for sure. They were just battling hard for the end of the stage. When in here, we're just started this stage, and they want to lead. That's all it's going to be. Is the third Justin Potts is going to go to the outside, put the 82 there stuck in the middle. We'll see if Brock can manage to hold on. As now they all go to the middle, and that's going to put Justin Potts stuck on the outside. Now we'll see if he will fall back. It looks like no one's going to go with.
Yeah, nobody's going to fall
There
in
you go.
line with him. Mike White's going to open up that lane for Justin Potts to fall in line with the rest of the group. And
Oh,
now,
oh,
put
oh,
the father put the son in the wall,
oh my
and he
goodness.
still didn't get the lap led. Man, Charles, you gotta. I know Charles really wants that lap led, and he's shown a lot of improvement throughout the years that I've known him on iRacing and have raced with him for the past 3 years. And Charles just wants to come out here, have fun. He ended up upgrading his wheel, got a new wheel and pedals and everything, and he's gotten a lot better with everything like that. Robert Gillard trying to work his way up there. He's going to be below the yellow line. Not sure what's going on with the number 60 or the 54. But now Charles stuck behind the 00 and going to see if he can't just push himself up there towards the front. And if I'm Charles, I'm gonna go down to the bottom. There it is.
Oh,
He made the move.
wow.
Charles is not wanting to sit behind people for very long.
Mm-mm. No, I was gonna say he is by far the most aggressive driver in this race. You could see the impatience. He did not want to be behind that 00 for long. That tells me he wants to be leading as much as possible in this race. Obviously, now he's got Gary Smith just behind there, pushing as well, and Jay Mon as well on the bottom. We'll see. Can Kevin Coleman get on the outside once again? We'll see if Charles decides to block it. They're going to come to the straightaway. He might have a chance to jump up. If he does, doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Charles Whitehead is going to jump up, but we're going to see if Charles Whitehead is going to be able to lead this lap. Going to move the live timing out of my way. No, Kevin
No.
Coleman at the line, got it on around
Ooh.
Charles Whitehead, and well, we're back in this scenario. Charles Whitehead going to push Kevin Coleman for a little bit, and then once he gets a little bit of clean air in, well, not clean air, but once he gets clear of his sun, I want to see him jump up to that outside. Oh,
Oh.
Kevin Coleman gonna be shut down to the inside. Now he's gonna find a way back up
Oh.
onto the actual racetrack. As you
Oh.
know, me personally, if I don't like you, I'm not moving. I'm gonna make you break, and you're gonna have to figure it out to get back on the racing line. But if
Yeah.
I
I
like
mean,
you and I see that, you're down there, you're trying to get back up, I'll move. And I'll force everybody behind me to move up to let you back on. So if I don't like you, nah, man, you're stuck down there. I don't care. You're down
that's
there.
that's fair, I guess. Depending on the racing etiquette out there, who knows? I mean, that's just gonna how it's gonna happen. Is look at Charles just pushing the 82 there in the corner. This is absolutely. He still didn't get that lap led there. I've been watching it, and oh my goodness, look at just Gary Smith there. He's gonna drop to the bottom as now Charles is gonna go back to the outside for the lead. Where does Mike White go? He's gonna stay to the bottom. No, he's not. He goes to the. Yeah, he does stay on the bottom. Whew. Run out of breath.
Yeah, Charles Whitehead really throwing it out there tonight. Obviously, he's trying to get himself into the playoffs. He wants to get a win. It is a win and you're in scenario for the playoffs. As the 54 is going to get
Oh.
door slapped by the number 51. He's like, hey, you know what? You're not going to ruin this race for a lot of these drivers. You're multiple laps down. We need to put you back there towards the back. As there's a video out there, and I've clipped it. Oh, they're wrecking!
Oh.
All right, man. Caution is
That's
out.
big.
Caution is
Oh,
out.
Oh,
jeez.
almost a blowover with the
Whoa.
number 88. And only 3 cars made it out. But what I was going to say was, Tyler, there's a video out there, and I clipped it. I'm going to have to
Huh?
send it to you because it's funnier than hell.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Cup Series, last season, I ran a partial schedule. Ended up
Mm-hmm.
coming in and running the rest of the season. But we're at Daytona in the next gens, and there was a driver that me and this driver did not get along whatsoever. Like every time we were around each other, we are wrecking each other. Like we were that aggressive around each other.
Mm-hmm.
I told Charles, I said, Charles, go high. And that particular driver happened to be on the outside. And Charles doored him. I
Okay.
laughed so bad. Oh man, I laughed so hard. Because I didn't think Charles was going to do it. And he did
Mm-hmm.
it. Oh man. The whole team chat was just laughing, having fun. And then after that, I messaged that driver. I'm not going to put any names out there, but I messaged that driver and was like, hey, man, this is what happened. I didn't think I was going to do it, so I apologize. Da, da, da. He's like, oh, man, it's all good. It's Daytona. It didn't really hurt me any. I was like, cool. Because I made sure it was on a straightaway and they were
Mm-hmm.
side by side. And there was no right rear quarter panel, nothing like that. I made sure that they, you know, were at a safe spot to do so. But just a little thing that happened to come up because we're at Daytona. It's the final race of the season, and that's where
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these drivers that run the trucks run Cup on a Thursday night. So that's that kind of just brought back a memory. Is a lot of drivers going to go down into pit lane. Looks like about 7 of them going to go into pit lane. Brock Whitehead going to elect to stay out. He's got 7 laps left in stage number 2 to sweep both stages, and then Looks like Mike White, Jay Monin, Robert Gillard, and Justin Potts all elected to stay out here on the field.
Well, I guess that tells me that they have enough fuel to at least make it to the end of the stage. It looks like we are going to restart with, let's see, 35, maybe about 6 laps to go here to the end of the stage. So I imagine that these drivers are just going to try to stay out here, hopefully stay up front, get themselves their stage points, and then pit at the end of the stage caution. So it'll be interesting to see what these guys do, and then obviously the guys that pitted, I assume, will probably stay out when it comes to the next caution, and then they will be back up front. So we got ourselves two different strategies looking at.
Yeah, I mean, it can go both ways. Obviously, if there's another caution, it kind of helps out Brock Whitehead. He can save some more fuel. He can do what he needs to do to win the end of the stage. But if it does go green, then, I mean, we're going to be able to tell, like, okay, with a caution, you can withstand you can stay out without having a pit, but without a caution, it could be detrimental. As stage or the last stage, 40 laps, probably more like 36 laps once they get back to green. That's We're definitely gonna have to see a green flag pit stop.
I hope so. I mean, I'm still just trying to figure out the pitch strategy as a whole right now, but it'll be interesting to see when we get to the final stage, at least when we have ourselves a good maybe 40 or so lap run to the finish right now, but we got ourselves a good amount of trucks here. A couple of them out of the race. It looks like the three of Gary Smith is now out of the race, which is interesting to see because he was up front running as well. So
Yeah.
interesting to see that.
Yeah, it looks like the 84 of Eddie Baker's in pit lane, Bryson Colwell's in pit lane as well. And then the trucks that are out of tonight's race is going to be the number 69 of Christopher Cash, the number 3 of Gary Smith, and then I believe it was Cliff Corvo is out of this race in the number 9 machine. So the 9 going to collect 17th place points, and then we're going to go on from there. But hopefully everybody out there is enjoying their Tuesday night. Obviously, it's another late stream here on a CRN. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe to CRN. Always have something going on throughout the week. I know Tyler does Thursday nights in the Core GT series with Carl Handwerk and John Nobinger in their broadcast booth. Tuesday night going on right now. We have Mars for one more week, and then this for another 11 weeks. And then on top of that, you have the Core Xfinity Series on a Tuesday nights. Wednesday nights, you have the Good Car Racing League for, uh, or I forget what the name of it is. I think it's Velocity Racing on Wednesday nights. Thursday, you have Core GT, and then you have the Ghost Cup Series. Friday night, you have Velocity. That's what it is. Velocity's on Friday night. Saturday night, we have the NIS Truck Series, as that's open setups on Saturday night, and then Sunday nights there is no broadcast, but we do have a Street Stock League on Sunday nights that does do a little bit of running, so that's definitely something to watch out here for on CRN. Potentially going to pick up another broadcast on Monday night with the Tour Mods, so that's kind of in the works as of right now. Definitely keep your eyes open for that. Is Everything else is going to come back and help us out here throughout the week.
Tons of action. I'd say that.
Yeah, hell, I mean, there was a time where CRN was broadcasting every day. There was no days off
Green
for
flag, green
CRN,
flag.
but green flag back out in the air. Brock Whitehead got a really, really, really big jump off of Jay Monin, and that's not really what you want to have happen and see. As once these drivers get up to speed, they're going to catch him like he's sitting still. See it already. The 08 and the 38 going to move up to the outside. The 00 says, you know what? You're not going to leave this man all the way out to dry by himself. We're going to go ahead and put him with us. Is It looks like, I don't know who that is down there on the inside. I think that might be TJ Hanley having some internet issues. He's going to go ahead and drop all the way to the back. Doesn't want to ruin anybody's race. But the 08 of Jay Monin and Brock Whitehead going to lead these drivers back around.
Mm.
And Kevin Coleman going to move to the outside with Brock Whitehead. Who's going to get the lap led is going to be the number 82, Brock Whitehead at the line.
Yeah, he's going to surge ahead with the push from Kevin Coleman. Now on the outside, the 38 of Justin Potts coming up as well here. Bottom lane doesn't have that many trucks, but now what is the double zero going to do here? He's going to obviously continue to push the 82. We're getting near the end, 5 laps to go in this stage coming up here. The outside has 5 trucks, and now it's going to be Justin Potts in the 38 going to the bottom, as well as Kevin Coleman, and he's going to go for the lead.
Yeah, Kevin Coleman's going to go for the race lead, and Kevin Coleman is the only driver from WFO still out there running as the number 84 is back out there. Couple laps down. No, actually, Eddie Baker's not any laps down. That's surprising. I thought Eddie Baker was a lap or two down, but he's not going to be
Mhm.
as, Kevin Coleman's got some help out there with the number 84 as the number uh, 47 ended up taking it pit side. He's not going to be able to continue on racing. He's going to be sitting in pit lane, probably doing race control down there on the inside, but still, a lot of racing left to go. You got the Whitehead Racing, you got TJ's team in the '08, the 80,
Oh,
in the 38. I
oh.
mean, you got teams all over the places. Kevin Coleman trying to hold on to that race lead. Brock Whitehead immediately went from first all the way down to P number 6.
Oh my goodness, the 86. Hunter Bogdan just was so sideways. That's tricky. Getting on that white line in the trioval gets these drivers super loose. That's what caused the first wreck, I believe, tonight here. And now you can also see it there with a couple other trucks right now. The outside starting to fall apart just a little bit, but they are trying to get back together, continue to push. See if anybody else goes up and around. There goes the double zero in the air. That's gonna not
All right,
bring
man.
out a
Caution is
caution.
out.
Yes, it
Caution is
does.
out.
That's going to bring out a caution. That's going to be the end of the stage as well. Is not what people want to see. Obviously, they wanted to run it all the way down in it to the end of the stage, but we're gonna go ahead and go back here, put it in slow
Hmm.
motion, see what happens. Oh, the double zero gets a bad bump from the number 86. The double zero is going to come back down, slap the 86, slap 38. Got super lucky. Net code
Oh,
was in his favor the whole way. Yard sale for the number 88. He's going to lose his front end. And man, oh man, they got lucky.
remember what you said earlier about don't push the pusher? That's exactly what we just saw right there with the double zero. Not really much he could do. He's just trying to stay organized there on the bottom and just got too much of a shove from behind. Wasn't able to hold on to it again. I guess kind of lucky. Only got had a lazy spin, got a little bit in the air, so we'll see if that affected maybe the underside of the truck, but overall, it's going to be the '08 looking to take, I believe, the white flag this time by getting ready to win the stage.
Yeah, Jay Mona is going to be able to capitalize on others' misfortunes and take over the stage win. So Brock not going to be able to double down on the stages here tonight, but it's all right. He's just a part-time racer racing in this series. He's more on the cup side. He's taken a few weeks off here and there to kind of just relieve himself of racing due to him doing a lot of racing in other leagues. So definitely want to see how that happens and what happens from there. But I mean, even with all these cautions, Tyler, this race has gone fairly quickly. I mean, we're already halfway through it.
Hmm. Yeah, we are halfway through, and like you said, we have seen tons of wrecks. Obviously, the pace laps at Daytona are nowhere near fast, that's for sure. But I mean, it's been easily a very competitive race. We've seen tons of drivers back and forth, tons leading separate laps here. So overall, I mean, we're starting to run out of drivers at least at this point. But I mean, we're gonna continue to reform the pack. We're gonna have one final stint here, about 40 laps to the end of the race. So we will see how drivers decide to handle these events here as we get closer to the finish.
Yeah, definitely going to be something different. I mean, obviously, like you said, or it's gonna get a little bit thinner out there in the field. But looks like Gary Smith is back out there on the racetrack. He's got he's 7 laps down as of right now. But I mean, even though he's 7 laps down, he can still potentially get all of his laps back due to how many cautions that could potentially come out. But it's just, obviously you got to keep yourself out of danger. You got to keep yourself out of the trouble. You can't get any incidents, or you can't even get a scratch along the side of the truck, or have anything come up that says, oh, 0x or anything like that. Then you'll end up losing your lucky dog eligibility. So Gary Smith back on out here, obviously not having the time of his life. He's got a couple wins on the race season, along with Eddie Baker and I believe Austin Wheeler, who's not out here either. Those are the main three that I've seen win a lot. I know Kevin Coleman's looking for his way into the playoffs with some more race wins. He's won a couple, but anything can happen. Gary Smith's going to be able to get filed around the pace car, and now he's got a long 50 some odd seconds to get back around and to catch up to these drivers. Obviously, he's going to be able to work because they're under pace laps. But I mean, nobody really wants to sit there, pace, and then have to go all the way back on around, and then get slowed back down, get everything downshifted, and then you're immediately going to be shifting back up through the gear. So a lot of hand movements for a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, I'd honestly compare pacing laps at Daytona to basically getting stuck in the middle or stuck on the outside with no help from behind. It's such a slow and helpless feeling. It's not much you can do other than just, go with whatever's happening around you. And I mean, again, these pace laps at Daytona ain't quick at all. That's for sure. They're, I think, around maybe 2 minutes or so long a pace lap. So thankfully, there's not that many of them, but. Now these drivers get to strap back up, get ready here, and get ready to go for the final stint.
Yeah, get ready to go for the final stint, and we're gonna have hopefully 39 laps of green flag racing to determine the final order of the race. As it's going to be the number 51 of Charles Whitehead, and then you have the number 82 of Brock Whitehead on the front row. And
That's totally not going to be crazy. Not at
yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah. It's nothing's ever
Nah.
crazy. Not with Charles Whitehead in
Mm-mm.
the lead.
Oh, no, 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 not at all.
Now, if Brock gets a better jump than his dad, I can see. I mean, they're going to have a battle on their hands. I
I
mean,
Green flag, green
Let's
flag.
see.
green flag is back on out. Charles Whitehead getting a
Foul.
really good jump on the field as it switches camera view here. And Brock Whitehead going to potentially lose P number 2 to the number 08 of Jay Monin, and he's going to have the draft. I know Brock is in his dad's ear saying, Dad, top side, Dad, top side, Dad, help me. He's not
Nope.
gonna. He's not doing it. He's gonna stay down there on the low lane. The
Uh-oh.
08's looking to
Uh-oh.
make it 3
Woo.
wide. He's not going to this time. But it's still, it's a lot of craziness going on in this pack. As the number 88 is back out there on the racetrack. He's going to be all by himself. The 82 of Brock Whitehead is going to be able to take over the race lead. He's going to drop down in front of his dad potentially to help him pull alongside of the number 19 here momentarily. Maybe. No, he's not. He said, you know what, Dad? You didn't help me. I'm not going to help you.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, hey, look at Mike White right there in the 19. Haven't talked much about him here tonight, and up here running in P2, just behind the leader as well here. Still looking to push the credit. Looks like he wants to get to the bottom to try to take that lead, but the 51 of Charles Whitehead is just stuck there on the bottom. Not really much he can do. He goes to the outside, gets into the wall a little bit, and now he crosses back over to the bottom. Gonna get a push from the 51 here, and it looks like he's gonna get side by side for the lead.
Yeah, he's going to get side by side for the lead, but I mean, I can see it now. The 51 is going to push the 19 all the way to the front, and once they both get clear, Charles is not going to stay behind that number 19 for very long. He just wants to hurry up, get himself some time in front of everybody, and then see if he can lead some green flag laps and do what he needs to do is the number 35, Justin Osterman, all over the back bumper of the number 82. He's going to give a little bit of a gap, though. He's doing it smart, keeping it smart, pushing him just a little bit, ever so slightly through the corner. He's going to go
Oh
down to the
yeah.
inside, and that's exactly what he needed. Charles Whitehead looking to go to the middle.
Whoa!
Somebody's going around towards the bank. That's going to be the '08 of Jay Monin. No caution's going to come out due to him not being on the racetrack. Not exactly sure what happened to the number '08 machine, but all I seen was he got a little bit loose coming off of the corner and sent him towards the inside. Not sure if that truck is broken or what the case may be, but he is rolling so far. He's going to probably take that number '08 machine into pit lane and put himself up there. The 84 is back up to P number 3 for the time being. Robert Gillard is up to P number 2. He got his laps back. He is now in contention for a race win. Just because you go a couple laps down in the beginning of the race doesn't mean that you're necessarily out of contention. As you see there, Robert Gillard got all 3 laps back on the lead lap and is now fighting to take the race lead. He got out of line there just ever so slightly. That's going to put Eddie Baker to his outside.
Oh.
3 wide for P number 3.
Oh.
Robert really not holding a steady lane, but it's going to be Eddie Baker up there all by himself. Kevin Coleman not up there with him.
This is wild. How about Justin Oshman leading this race? He was in, I believe, the very first wreck of the night. Obviously, we just talked about Robert Gillard getting his laps back, and now we have him running in P4, and then we have a guy who's in the lap 1 caution, currently leading. His one car is going to go to the apron there.
Yeah,
I believe that's the 19. Yeah.
He said, you know what, this is a little bit too dangerous for me. I'm just going to go ahead and go to the back.
Yeah, I can understand.
Which, I mean, that's a good strategy move. I mean, obviously, if you don't have a fast repair or anything like that, you don't want to be involved in any more wrecks. Being towards the back could really help you out. Now, obviously, you don't want to lose the draft like the 19 just did, but if they start wrecking like they almost just did there because Charles went below the yellow line, that could really help him out. He's going to be able to get back up to the pack. They're going to have another fresh restart, and they're going to be able to go back through it one more time. As the 86 all over the back bumper, not giving any room to that number 82. The 84 is going to look to push the pusher, and we've seen that happen. You don't want it to happen too much. The 54 is going to get moved out of the way. The 51, there it is. Oh, Kevin Coleman getting involved. Caution flag is out.
Caution is out.
And
that was
big. Yeah, that was very big. That was Charles not giving any room to anybody down on that inside to come back up the racetrack. But then again, I mean, it is viewers or it is the driver's prerogative to make sure he gets up there cleanly. So there you see the bad bump to the number 35 to the 54. The 35 able to come up. Charles Whitehead actually held his line. He moved up just a little bit, but Robert just kept going up and up and up. Finally grabs the 00 on top of it. Puts 00 into the outside wall. Charles Whitehead's going to get spun on around. And, yeah, that just a bad break for the number 51 machine, who's been having such a great race here tonight. Hopefully he's got that fast repair in his back pocket and able to get that number 51 freshly power coated and up to the speed on his repairs.
Yeah, I mean that's just a product of super speedway racing. I mean, again, Charles had it in the middle. He was hugging it pretty low there, not giving the guys on the bottom much room. But I mean, hey, again, the 54 did keep moving up. It was hard to tell, but oh my. Okay, so as we can see,
happened?
Charles is not pleased at all with the 54.
We're gonna go ahead and go back and see this because that was not a good look. Oh, Charles just not even stopping.
No.
I actually, you know what? We're actually going to rewind this completely because I don't know if, depending on how far back he really was. I mean, Charles is back there quite a ways, and I mean, if you're looking
and he's on the throttles.
I mean, we can look at it through the cockpit camera here. We're going to see if Charles. Okay, so Charles there can see Robert Gillard. We're going to see if his RPMs drop. Oh no.
Not at all.
No, yeah,
Not
no,
at all.
not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. That was an intentional wreck if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that is not a good look. I
That's
mean, hey,
yeah.
I get it. That was tough. I mean, again, the 54 he went up again, but the 51 also was pretty tight there running the bottom, but I mean, again, that was a racing incident from what I saw, but I mean, I don't quite understand that one.
Yeah, that's like the Kyle Busch, Ron Hornaday
Yeah,
escapade there, where
but worse.
obviously battling 3 wide, 14 laps into the race, and Kyle Busch just kind of let his anger get the best of him there, and yeah, it just unwarranted. Obviously, tempers are going to flare. It's the last race of the season, of the regular season. You could have waited for the next race or went back to green and made it look like a racing incident. But that right there, yeah, nah. I mean, I've done it before, so I understand. But when I did it, it was under green flag conditions, and I did it to
Yeah.
the league owner in a next gen at Phoenix International Speedway. I had fresh tires. I gave him a couple of shots in the rear end to move. He wouldn't move, so I dove on him, and his internet was not the best. So when I dove on him, he registered that I hit him, and he put me into the next corner, and then I ended up. He put me on the wall. I came back, didn't lift, and yeah, well, story is to be told a different way to other people. But yeah,
I
it
mean,
just you never
yeah.
want to have your race ended that way. Nobody
Oh
ever
no.
wants to have the race ended
No.
that way.
No, I mean I get it. I mean it's the frustration boils. I mean, sure, I mean you just got wrecked at Daytona. You had a fast truck, and then, just again, it looked like just a racing incident to me. I mean, again, you could say what you want about that wreck. 51 maybe was too tight to the bottom, or the 54 just kept
No.
moving up. I mean, yeah, I mean that those both happen, but I mean, still, that's just I if I were under green and it didn't look intentional, I could understand, but like that, I mean, you can't cover up. I
Yeah,
don't know what
exactly.
else you could say.
I mean, if he would have tried to brake and all that, and the RPMs went down lower than what they were, sure, it could have been like, oh yeah, my bad, I didn't see that the field was there.
Hmm.
But RPMs never drop. I mean, if he tries to say that the RPMs dropped, they can go back on stream and see that nah, the RPMs never
Yeah.
dropped.
Hmm.
But yeah, normally Charles does not. I've never seen Charles retaliate. That was like the very first time I've ever seen that guy retaliate. He's normally such a great guy. Just tempers flaring. I mean, there's
I
really
see, I
nothing.
see, I see retaliation sometimes myself, but I mean, I've never seen that kind of retaliation ever.
Right.
Usually, it's on like a cool down lap. Most of the time is whenever I see something like that, or maybe just even a small bump and run on like coming to a restart or something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's it just depends on the driver. I mean, obviously, I've done it on a cool down lap in the ARCA car. Made sure that I made my car up to the back bumper and ended up spinning a guy out. But things happen for a reason.
Green flag, green flag.
As green flag's going to be back out here tonight, as Brock Whitehead able to control that restart. He's going to get on around everybody. And he's got Justin Osterman, that number 35, helping him on out.
And a good jump there to get to the lead. The 35 is going to have a run here. We'll see if he decides to take it. Now he decides to stay right behind and push the 82. We'll see what Hunter has to do right back there in P3. We'll have 3-car kind of breakaway now on the bottom, as well as 4 now. Justin Potts is going to slide in there to P4 outside. Really doesn't have anybody to work with here, so these guys are going to stay single file just a little bit. We'll see what they decide to do.
Yeah, definitely going to see what they're going to decide to do. Is right now the number 35 is all over the back bumper of the number 82. He's going to help push him and keep him towards the front. And then you got the number 86 behind the number 35. And 86 has been one of those aggressive pushers, just like the number 51 and other drivers. but able to not involve himself in a lot of wrecks or anything like that.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think these drivers, I was just about to say that I think they've learned about the craziness today and that they're gonna run single file just to get some laps going. But clearly, the 38 Justin Potts did not want to do that, and he's got, I believe,
Gary Smith.
Gary Smith, who is the lap car behind, just pushing a little bit here. But now they're gonna go three wide, or two wide, three rows back here. Drivers not waiting whatsoever, as Justin Potts, with the help of the lap car, is going to get pushed to the lead.
Yeah, 38 is going to get pushed to the lead, and then they're going to leave the number 3 up there to dry. The 82 is going to say, you know
Mm,
what? I want some of this. He's going to move to the outside. He's got Gary Smith now behind him, but Gary Smith isn't on his back bumper. That's the only bad part. You got to time these runs super perfect. And
mm-hmm,
obviously, me, I would wait till somebody's behind me. Hopefully, it's somebody that's in my chat that I'm talking with. They're behind me, and I'll count it down like, hey, I'm going to go right out of the turn number 2. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, and then when I get to 1, you better start moving up because that's when I'm moving.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
there, obviously, he didn't have that, obviously. But,
Oh,
Justin Potts getting turned around by the number 35. He's going to be able to save it.
oh,
What a
wow.
save by the number 38.
Okay, I don't know what happened there really. It looked like just a matter of cars getting on the apron there and just a bad push there, sending the 38. And I'm a little worried for yeah, the three's going to drop back there, but I'm a little worried to see what happened to the 38 because iRacing, it has this thing where if you cross a pit exit line that fast, you could get a speeding penalty. So
Yeah.
don't know if he got that or not. We'll have to see what happens here, but now it's Brock Whitehead back out front.
Yeah, Brock Whitehead back out front, trying to get to that race lead. Just not able to do it here tonight.
And we got about 5 cars now hanging on here. The 82, and then of course Justin Osman as well, and then Kerry Cleaver there on the outside now, trying to go somewhere.
Yeah, Kerry Cleaver is sitting in P number 3.
And just like that, he will clear and take the lead. Look at the bump drive, and there he
Oh, there
goes.
All right, man.
goes.
Caution is
Caution
out.
flag
Caution is
is
out.
out. Bad push. Man, oh man, they were running so good.
Yep.
We got some good green flag
Mm-hmm.
pit stop or runs in. Just happened to come down on that one as Kevin Coleman, I think, got involved as well. We're going to actually right on board with the number 64. And I'm just going to keep it in real time. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
right there. Bad bump by the number 82. 82 is going to get sent up. The 64 is going to get there. Oh, 84 getting
Oh.
tagged.
Yep.
And that's just a product of drivers not holding their brakes.
Yeah, I mean that was just I mean he got the lead, which is pretty good overall, but then of course just a missed time push. Obviously, you don't want to push in the corner; it's pretty risky, and for reasons like we just saw, that's what'll happen.
Yeah, definitely not what other people wanted to see. And obviously, when you're wrecking like that, it is a golden rule. It is a actually big rule in this league that you have to hold your brakes. And if you don't hold your brakes, that's kind of what happens. Obviously, being Daytona, your brakes aren't going to be like the greatest because it is Daytona, obviously. And
hmm
when you're going facing backwards or facing sideways and you're sliding, even if you do brake and lock up your brakes, all you're going to do is just slide even more.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's going to
I
be
mean,
a long, long slide.
yeah, that's the tricky part about these trucks. I mean, you can miss a wreck easy, but again, the brakes on these things they're a little odd. At least I'll give it that. Sometimes they slow down easily for you, but again, that all depends on maybe the brake bias that someone might have set. So, um, yeah, something like that. I mean, the 84, he had a chance, and he just probably just did not expect the 64 to just come down the racetrack. I was probably hoping he'd stay up towards the wall, but oh well. You've seen plenty of instances like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, no harm, no foul. Obviously, going to get that fast repair taken and get themselves back on out here. I wonder if Kerry Cleaver does have that faster pair in his back pocket. I'm going to sit on the number 64 machine. His damage, not that bad looking, but he does not
No.
have a faster pair.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only, I mean, from what I saw in the wreck, I mean, it was just mostly body damage for the most part. The only part I'd be worried about is maybe where the 84 hit him. Did he hit him in the tires? Did it cause any disalignment at all? I think he'll be okay. I mean, again, the truck looks fine from our vantage point, but it could be completely different from the inside driving.
Yeah, we'll actually go to a chase camera here. And there you can see the rear
Mm,
deck lid's a little bit scaved up. Get a far chase, do the same thing. Yeah,
You
yeah,
could probably get away from most of that, at least at Daytona, I would say.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely gonna be something out there. As we're gonna take a look from the spotter stand at the number 19, currently sitting at P at number 1 on the field. Then you got the number 38 in second. Kevin Coleman in P number 3. Fourth is going to be Hunter Bogdan. Fifth is going to be Jay Monin. Sixth is going to be Justin Osterman. Seventh, Brock Whitehead. Eighth is going to be TJ Handley, who's having a lot of internet difficulties.
Well, we've cut the field down quite a bit here. We're only going to have probably 22 laps to go when we go back racing here. To quote the good old Darrell Waltrip, how many cars are we going to have left in this race?
Yeah, so there you can see. I mean, you only got 6 cars right there. I mean, obviously
Mhm.
everybody's going to have to come back on around, get caught back up to the rest of the field, but you know, it's definitely going to be one of those races where definitely going to be one of those races that could potentially turn out to be a really good 3 wide photo finish to the race win, or it could potentially be last man standing.
I agree with that one. That's the option I like.
Last, yeah, I mean, there's been a couple times where I've ran a Daytona race just for fun. It wasn't really like a league race type thing, but it was like a little hostess session. And all you got was 3 faster pairs, 100 laps.
Mhm.
It was trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars, Gen 6. Before they came out with the next gens, it said last man standing in each series wins. 3 faster pairs, no cautions. You just, well, there was cautions, but it just 100 laps, run what you brung, essentially fixed setups. That was one of the most funnest times I've ever had, intentionally wrecking people and not getting in trouble.
That sounds like a ton of fun.
Yeah, it was like a smash to pass type of racing.
Gotcha.
But we just kind of did what we wanted to do, and I would make sure I knew who I was wrecking, so that way if they came back out, they were near me, I did it again, and then I did it again, and
Green,
then I
green,
did
green.
it again, so that way they could not come back out on the field.
Tons of dump and run.
Oh yeah, tons of dump. Oh man, it was super fun, especially being out on the track and doing it. I mean, granted,
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna. I'd wait till we were up to speed, and I'd always hook them to the outside wall. You're not going
Oh,
down
yeah.
to the inside. You're going to the outside.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody behind me better watch out and pay attention because it's happening. But we're back to racing here. Mike White with the race lead. He's got Hunter Bogdan all over his rear. And I mean, Hunter's not giving an inch
Mm-mm.
to
Just be
that
careful
number
pushing in the
19.
corner here.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen it with Hunter Bogdan. He does not let off
Mm-mm.
whatsoever. He just is run and gun. Let's go. Let's get it done and over with. I'm bringing these guys to the front.
Well, they're staying about 4 cars single file up front now. You have it's Justin Potts there trying to get the outside to move here. Now he's got 2 trucks behind him here. It looks like Jay Monin is the one directly behind him, as now Osterman's going to jump right to the top there, going to see where he can go, and then he goes right back to the bottom now. And that's going to allow Justin Potts to beat him on the outside. We'll see if we can get any help getting there as he tried to go up, thought better about it, stays down.
Yeah, I thought about going up there. Now Jay Mona is going to go up to the outside with Justin Potts and company. You got Gary Smith, Justin Potts, and Jay Mona up there on the outside row. Then you got everybody else down on that inside row. Is the 35 is going to stay down there, but the 82 is going to move up to the outside with the number 38. And that's just something you don't really want to see, especially you don't want to see Brock Whitehead leading the line going in. You kind of want to have him behind you because Brock Whitehead is one of those racers where he's super good at plate tracks, so he knows what to do, and he's going to get himself into that position to get the race win. As he's going to move all the way back down to the inside, he's saying, you know what, 35, I helped you earlier. You didn't help me. I'm just going to leave you out to dry as the 86 hitting
Oh,
the apron. Can't keep it down on the inside. He's probably going to tell Hunter, hey, go up high, feed you a dummy. He's going to take that second position back away from him as that's just what I do. Like I was saying earlier in the Atlanta race, I was like, hey, you know what? Go on up top, buddy. I'm just going to go ahead and take my escape route down on that inside. But Hunter Bogdan is not budging from that back bumper of the number 19 machine. In the top three already trying to go away from the rest of the field. Kerry Cleaver, that had all that damage, is back up to P number 4.
yeah, the top three are trying to break away. Hunter Bogdan is just trying to push Mike White as far ahead as possible, maybe so he can make some move. I mean, he's not lifting whatsoever, pushing on the straightaway and in the corner everywhere that you'd imagine he's doing, and he's doing it while even trying to get on the apron a little bit, which is making it a little bit more terrifying. But look at the run by Kerry Cleaver there, most likely in fourth. He's got a good run off of turn 4. We'll see if he decides to jump up to get by Brock Whitehead. They stay up, but it's still Mike Smith barely hanging on with that push in the corner. It's about a 3-car breakaway.
Yeah, looking at about a 3-car breakaway as of right now. They say once you get out of that draft, you're pretty
Oh,
much
uh-oh.
done.
Yeah.
But last night in the Next Gen League, I missed a wreck and I had to get on the brakes, or whatever. I had one car with me that I had to catch up to. I caught up to him, and we drove. We drove the first pack down of like 19 cars. They were too wide, but we drove them back down and made passes, just me and that other driver. So we were 6 seconds back. It took us eight laps to make up that 6 second difference. But we stayed on the bottom. I was pushing all the way around the track until we got to the tri-oval and the turns. I just stayed up on his back bumper, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. He agreed. We caught back up. We respectively finished 5th and 6th in stage number 2. So that's definitely going to be something to watch here to see what happens if anybody does lose the draft. As Brock Whitehead got a little bit of a bad bump from the number 19 machine, kind of sent him down to the inside, able to keep the truck straight as we are nearing down 17 laps to go.
I can't. I'm like standing right now. This is absolutely wild. These drivers are just taking every run they get. Sideways, Kerry Cleaver holds onto it on the bottom. That's going to slow down the momentum just a little bit, and that's going to allow Brock Whitehead on the top lane to clear for the lead. Going to try to bring Mike White with him. He jumps to the bottom, and now it's going to be Brock Whitehead barely hanging on. Let's see what Mike White as well as Justin Osterman does up top.
Yeah, Justin Osterman and Mike White up on that outside all by themselves. Brock Whitehead and Hunter Bogdan down on that inside. They're trying to do what they need to do to get themselves up to the podium position. So far, so good. Still in P number 1, P number 2. They're trying to pull away from Kerry Cleaver now. It's kind of working, but it's also kind of not, as green flag pit stops underway with I believe. Oh, they're wrecking the 19, the
All right, man,
82.
caution is
No.
out. Caution is
Oh,
out.
the 38 getting involved as well, or whoever it was.
Now that is genius right there for those guys that just came down pit road. Let's see what happened here. Let's see
Yeah.
what the 19 did. It looks like Osman, side by side, and then it looks like Mike White shot it to the bottom, and then he clipped that apron, which got him super loose. But then Kerry Cleaver did not lift, maybe did not expect that much of a checkup made contact with the 19. Nothing really the 35 could do into the air as the 19, but oh man, even a narrow miss. Oh geez, but hey, like I said, that is genius for these guys that just brought it down pit road. Oh my goodness, threes in the air too.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go ahead and rewind that just a little bit so we can see exactly everything that happened. We're gonna write on board with Kerry Cleaver. Is right here. Obviously, like you said, the 19 kind of shut it down a little bit too far, got underneath the apron, and that's progressive banking right there. So it's going to send that truck just a little bit. And this is what all started it. Obviously, Gary was going to go up to the outside. He thought he was in the clear, just was not able to get into the clear. And then as he was coming down, I believe he's going to get tagged by the 35. He
Oh,
does get tagged by the number 35. A little bit of a blowover,
whoa,
almost a blowover
my
for
goodness.
that number three machine. But man, those drivers that went into pit lane,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. You want to talk about perfect timing for a pit stop?
Yes,
Now,
literally.
I think how it is if you're not in your pit stall, you can't pit, right?
I don't know about that specific rule. The only rule that I'd be aware of is that you don't want to be, when the caution comes out, pit road's going to close, and that's when you don't want to come down.
Yeah.
So
Now, obviously,
I,
I
I don't
wish
know.
iRacing did it to where like if they're already committed and they can't get away from pit road, don't give them a black flag. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's
I mean,
fair. Yeah.
I've gotten burned by that. Like I was getting ready to go into
Oh
pit
yeah.
lane, and then the caution came out, and I couldn't turn away. It ended up giving me a black flag, and I had to get the admins of the league. I was like, hey man, look, I was committed. I'm all the way down here. I can't come to a complete stop doing 100 mile an hour and turn it back right. I didn't want to wreck anybody. So
Mhm.
they seen my side of the thing, and they ended up taking away the black flag and said, "All right, you made a good point. This is what happens. This is how we're going to do
Mhm.
it from then on." And it's been a rule in every single league that I've done so far. So yeah, you definitely don't want to see a caution. These guys were running really good. I mean, to go from 30 plus laps down to 13 without a caution is fairly good.
Now, this is really interesting because Brock Whitehead came down pit road as the leader, and surprisingly, he's going to exit as the lead. Okay, he'll lead as the leader here, but the only car that's in front of him, we have Justin Potts, but I don't know if he's on the lead lap.
Just Potts, he should be. He is not.
He is not. Oh, interesting.
So Justin Potts is 2 laps down.
Leaderboard. The leaderboard there looks to be like he's not a lap down, but
Yeah, my
he may have.
SDK's saying
Maybe
he's
he got the
not.
wave around.
Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking that's what it is because he's still on lap number 66,
Yeah.
and they're on
So
66. So he's 1 lap down still.
so we know Gary Smith is obviously laps down. So we'll see when they pass the start finish line here. If Justin Potts passes everybody and around them, he'll just restart at the tail end of the field. So either way, Brock Whitehead is going to be the leader, and Hunter Bogdan's going to be right behind him. But we will see if we can figure out the scoring where the 38 will line up. We'll see if he passes everybody. They pass the line.
Yeah, because on the ticker it's saying 2.8. So he's
Okay,
okay.
there
So
he goes.
he's getting a lap
Okay.
back now.
Okay.
So he's going to be potentially 1 lap down. No, he's not going to be a lap down at all.
Yeah, okay. So
He's
he
going to
was
be on the lead
so
lap.
maybe I guess by the end of that stop, like like when I believe the rule is when the leaders cross the line, it's depending on where everybody else is. So I would assume when the leader Brock Whitehead crossed the line that he never did put Justin Potts a lap down. So therefore he was just the last car on the lead lap.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is yeah, I think that sounds about right. Especially with that.
I will see though that did take out Kerry Cleaver, unfortunately, who is out of the race right now. So that's a bummer for that 64 group. Had a good run going there, just Not much. It's another racing incident.
But yeah, so he's catching up to the field. He's got he sees the two trucks in front of him. He should be
Mhm.
able to brake in time to not hit anything or hit anybody. Don't pull a Juan Pablo Montoya. We can't
Can he
be
pull a
hitting him.
Kyle Busch?
Ah, that is
And
true.
Kyle Busch the restart? No, he
Yeah,
won't.
no, he already caught up to him.
All right.
I've done that before, and I got black flagged. I had to serve a I had to serve a penalty.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah,
Well, hey.
they're like, no, you can't do that. I was like, well,
Green flag, green flag.
green flag back out of the air. Hunter Bogdan not getting a great jump on the field. He's going to be behind Brock Whitehead by a bunch, but he's got Eddie Baker pushing him up to the front. Kerry Cleaver, I believe, is out of this race with that last hit. Looking up here, yeah, Kerry Cleaver is out of the race, and here comes Eddie Baker. He's going to take that
Wow.
outside.
Look at
What
that.
a run!
Wow.
Yeah, that was a big run, but here comes the rest of the field. Kevin Coleman still in this race to get some more points and potentially a race win. He's going to look to go to the inside on Hunter Bogdan.
Nope.
No, he's going to push Hunter Bogdan to see what he can do here towards the end of this race. You got 3 cars down at the bottom, and you got probably 8 cars on that out. No, you got 4 cars up on that outside. But now you got a 2-car breakaway between the 86 and the number 00 on that outside. And then you got 3 cars, the 08, the 82, and the 84 down on the inside. You know the 84 and the 00 want to get linked up. Those two are teammates. They want to see Kevin Coleman getting a race win here tonight to end off the regular season with 10 laps to go. Anything can happen. The 19, hell, he could come back from where he's at right now and still get the race win.
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely wild. I mean, we haven't even talked much about Eddie Baker really since the beginning of the race. I believe he started up front, and now he's back up front leading here, coming to 9 laps to go. And the guys on the bottom, they're staying orderly for right now. Although now it looks like Brock Whitehead is going to jump to the outside to try to take the lead away from the 84. He's going to side draft there. He's going to have a big run there from Hunter Bogdan behind. What's going to happen? He will decide to push. It's going to be sideways. So Bogdan on the left side. He gets in behind the 82 just barely, but he's going to clear for the lead.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get clear for the race lead, and this is what they don't want to see happen. They're allowing Kevin Coleman to get clear of Hunter Bogdan.
There
And
you
there
go,
it
right
is.
there.
Yep. Now you got the two teammates stacked up to each other. That's not what they want to see happen. Now what they want to see is, okay, block the inside lane. Don't let Kevin Coleman come up here. And no, they're going to stay up top. That's where they want to be at. Obviously, the inside lane is not having the run that they thought they were going to get. But now, yeah, Hunter Bogdan already screwed the peach there. Same with Brock Whitehead. Brock is going to stay up on that outside. And now you got two teammates down on the inside and former two teammates up on that outside.
And then teammates on the bottom there are going to surge ahead. Kevin Coleman barely with the edge. Not much help for either lane. You got the 19, you got Mike White there on the bottom, who is starting to get a run there on the bottom. Not quite sure where he's going to go with it. They're all going to stay on the bottom, but right now it's still only the top two up top right now. They are doing really good. It's tandem drafting right now. Up top, hanging on here. Great pushes by Hunter Bogdan so far, but how long will it last? How long will he be able to do it? He's going to keep doing it in the corner here. He's going to even do a little bit of side drafting there of the trucks on the bottom as they're going to come this time to 7 laps to go.
Yeah, 7 laps to go. Brock Whitehead still with the race lead. And it's weird. There's only 2 cars up on that outside. There's 7 down on the inside. And that inside lane not trying to prevail at any point during this time being up towards the front. And lo and behold, who were we talking about just about 3 laps ago? Talking about coming up through the back of the pack and potentially winning the race? Mike White. Guess where he's at? P number 5. He's already back up there. Looking to take over P number 3 if the top 3 down on that inside can get past that outside lane.
Yeah, they continue to run. I'm absolutely amazed. And the 84, Eddie Baker, super loose there. It looks like there was a little bit of side drafting there that got him sideways. But right now, those top two are absolutely impressing me right now. Just being them two, again, tandeming up top right now, being able to hold on. As now they got one truck coming up behind as well. They might have a little bit of help as well, but right now it's still the same two. A little bit of contact between Whitehead and Baker there, but it's going to allow Kevin Coleman to get into the lead here. Maybe will he get far enough out? It doesn't look like they're going to stay side by side.
Yeah, they're going to stay side by side. Hunter Bogdan gave the 82 a little bit of a bad bump there, sent the 82 down towards the 84, able to keep it straight. If there was anybody that was a little bit more aggressive than Charles Whitehead, it was going to be the number 86 machine. I mean, he's all over the back bumper, doesn't want to get off the back bumper. Is coming around to take 5 laps to go. This time by at the line is Kevin Coleman for the race lead.
How about behind? We had just said about those third guys. How about TJ Hanley there in the 80? Haven't talked about him really much at all tonight, and now finds himself in a position to win this race. But we have quite a few guys in contention. I believe I heard a lap car a little bit ahead. We do have one, so we'll see how that affects things. Hopefully, they just stay to the outside and let these leaders all go by. But these first two rows absolutely not moving right now. The lap car will stay to the bottom. That is Justin Osterman's going to get out of their way. Oh, big run, though. That's going to make both lanes unorganized just a little bit.
Yeah, good heads up driving by Justin Osterman to stay keep it down to the inside. He probably came up on the radio chat. Was like, "Hey, where do you guys want me to be at? I'll stay right where you need me to stay."
Oh!
Is a big wiggle there by the
Oh!
number 86 and the number 84. Could have been dangerous. Oh, the
Oh!
84 getting a little bit loose. Kyle Busch
Uh-oh.
save all the way up to the
Wow!
outside.
What a save.
Yeah, that's a Kyle Busch save.
Very much.
Is he's going to lose everything, and now it's
Uh,
a top 3 run to the end.
Now watch like guys like Kevin Coleman, who lost the lead there, and Justin Potts now, who's going to be there. As here goes Hunter Bogdan now for the lead. That's going to really slow down these leaders. Where's the double zero going to go?
Oh, double
3
zero going
wide
to go all the way up to the top. Oh, they're wrecking.
Oh, there they go.
All right, man. Caution is out.
Oh,
Caution is
Eddie
out.
Baker missed the wreck, but his
Wow.
teammate Kevin Coleman did not. Is we're gonna, man, oh man,
Oh,
there's a
wow.
lot to debunk here. We're gonna go ahead and rewind
Uh,
this, just because it didn't really catch everything, but a little
Okay,
bit
so
of
those
side
two
drafting.
leaders, yeah, so they're super slow. And that, I mean, the double zero did exactly what I would do, go to the outside. But then the 86, I don't know, maybe didn't expect him to go through wide. And then that contact is sending Brock Whitehead around and is going to barely clip Hunter Bogdan right there as well. Justin Potts gets hit as well. 3 is going to go by. And how about Mike White? He's going to narrowly miss that wreck as well. Jay Monin involved as well. Wow, that changes everything.
Yeah, we're actually gonna watch on board with Mike White on the onboard camera, full speed, no slowing it down. Here's the replay.
Oh my
You want to
goodness.
talk about you want to talk about the sea parting perfectly for Mike White? It just happened there.
He just had an angel fly right over his head for that one.
Oh yeah, for
Unbelievable.
sure. Absolutely big time. And the person that it hurts the worst is, now looking at his truck is not that bad. His toe might be bent in just a little bit, but that's going to be the number 00 of uh Kevin Coleman. I mean, he was having such a great run. He did what he needed to do,
Hmm.
put himself up up on the high side to make a run. Obviously, just ran out of real estate right at the last second. Can't be mad at anybody. It just happens. Everybody's going for that race lead and just ended up going on that one.
Yeah, I mean that's just a product of Daytona. I mean, they're going for a win. It's 2, 3 and a quarter laps away. I mean, not much you can do again. The double zero had a monster run. He really had nowhere else to go. So I mean, at that point in the race, you wouldn't check up. You wouldn't just sit back and watch what happens. But I mean, hey, Tough deal. I mean, just it's a product of Daytona. That's just how things are going to happen here. And looking at the leaderboard, it looks like, from what I can tell, the only driver out after that incident will be Hunter Bogdan. So, oh boy, that's going to set things up pretty interestingly.
Yeah, definitely gonna set everything up. I mean, dude, man, this is going to be a
Oh,
fight. I mean, Mike White's sitting in perfect condition right now. Brock Whitehead's in perfect. Jay Monin, TJ, Eddie. I mean, I honestly can see a three-wide finish coming from
mhm.
this race.
You know what I could also see? A three wide wrecking finish. Oh,
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can see
well,
that too.
looks like they're gonna come 2-1 to go this time by. How about Justin Potts though, in the lead right now, narrowly avoiding that wreck? It'll be him and Mike White on the front row here. This is going to be wild.
So far, I don't know, but this is definitely going to be one of those finishes. Like you said, I mean, obviously,
That's gonna be one of the biggest finishes of all time. If you want to say
yeah,
that.
yeah, it's definitely going to be one to remember. I mean, obviously, hopefully the Cup race on Thursday goes a little bit better than what's nice started out with. I mean, obviously, we got 17 cars out here on the field. Well, we did. We don't have that many, as we got top 8 are on the lead lap. Then you got Bogdan's out, Osterman's out, Smith is still in, Cleaver's out, Gilliard's out, Whitehead is out, Caldwell is still in pit lane, Christopher Cash is out, and Cliff Corvo is out of tonight's race.
All right. Well, turn 3. What do you think? Think we get to the white? What do we got?
Uh,
Oh.
I say we get to the white flag, but after the white flag, that's when we're all going to start wrecking.
All right. I'm not gonna ask anything about a win prediction. I'm just gonna say the pace car wins at this rate. So we'll see.
I mean, if I had to take a wild guess on who could get their race win, it'd have to be the people in the second row, the 82 and the 84. Those are my two picks. Um, but if I had to pick a dark horse, I'd say the 19 is going to get the race win. Obviously, you don't want to be on the
Green,
front
green,
row
green.
on the restart. Is the 19 did not get a good restart. Um, he's going to fall behind just a little bit. Same with the number 82, and they're going to get freight trained down there on that inside lane. TJ Hanley blocked the double zero from going to the outside, and now Kevin Coleman's going to be stuck down on that inside lane. He's not out of it
Oh.
entirely either. Is
Uh
big
oh.
check up on that
Oh.
bottom lane. A 38's going to get
Oh.
a big shot. 19's going to
Oh
give the
my.
84 a big shot and move the 84 back up to the race lead.
How about Chris Zofeld there? He hasn't been a contender all night, but he's found himself up into the mix here as well. As up front, it is Eddie Baker who has cleared himself to the lead. Zofeld's going to give the 19 of Mike White a push here. What's he going to do as he comes to the white flag? They're sideways. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, sideways for the race lead so far. Going to go ahead and move the live timing out of our way so we can see the full track. But definitely going to be a fun one. Is like I said before we went back green flag racing, the two that I picked as the favorites are back to 1 and 2. Brock Whitehead and Eddie Baker. It all comes down to this. Where is everybody going to go? Who's going to make the move to make it 3
Oh.
wide down the backstretch? It looks like the 80 is going to make it.
Oh.
Oh, the 84 getting
Oh, there
backed
goes.
out of it. Oh, the 19 getting. Oh, the 82 up and over, blow
Oh my
over.
goodness.
Oh
A
my.
big up and
Oh.
over.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
There
Wait.
were 3 cars that missed that. Who missed that?
Well,
They're
we're
three
here.
wide.
Yeah, we're three. They're three wide, but it's going to be
Jay
Jay
Monin.
Monin getting the race win
Wow.
over Justin Potts.
Wow.
Oh,
How about that?
that is a straight clip of the night.
Oh my goodness.
We had a blowover with the number 82 of Brock Whitehead.
That's wild. That
That
is
oh
wild.
man, we have a lot to
Whew.
debunk.
Oh,
Let's just debunk this whole thing really quick. Just give me one. Hold
phew,
please.
phew. I'm at a wow. I'm shaking after that one.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and
Goodness.
go back start of the white flag because this is where it
Okay.
all essentially starts. So here, once we get up, this is where we take the white flag.
Mm-hmm.
3, 1, and 2 is gonna be perfectly fine. We're gonna no, it's not gonna be perfectly fine. Right here, we start to have our issues. The 19, well, there's a lot of checkup going up on the outside.
Yep.
And then the 19, I think it's a bad push or the 84. Oh no,
No, he's just trying to
no,
go the middle.
the right here is where it happens. The
Oh, four
08,
wide.
yeah, they're trying to go 4 wide. The 08 of Jay Mona's trying to force it in there. And then he comes down into the number 19. The 19 is going to go
Oh,
down
that
into
was
the 84.
so light. Oh my goodness, that was the
Super light
lightest contact.
contact, but with him going through the grass is going to set him back up the racetrack.
And then up front, Brock is just doing everything he can to hold the lead and just there was a car down there, nothing he could do. And what a wild ride through the grass on his side. Again, I guess not much he could do. Just it's at the end trying to hold the lead and just goes tumbling, barrel rolling into turn three, right back in front of traffic. What a miss by the 84.
Yeah, big miss by the number 84. Then this is where it gets interesting at the 38 down by himself. And then here's where they go 3 wide. Obviously, the three's not in contention for the win. Going to go ahead and make it full speed here for us. Is the 08's going
Wow.
to be able to get by and just go on from there. But man, oh man, that
Whew.
last lap, buddy, was
Oh
a
my
whole
goodness.
different thing. Is they're all parked here towards the end of pit road, and we're gonna go ahead and get our top three into the broadcast booth really quick.
And if I'm remembering this correctly, based on the looks of the Dash for Cash, is that Jay Monin that won the Dash for Cash?
Yeah,
How about that? Good for him.
J-Mon ended up winning the dash for cash here tonight.
Good for him. Race win and a Dash for Cash. How about that?
Yeah, looking at the top three. Well, there's Chris Zofield, so we'll go ahead and grab Chris Zofield for the time being. Give me 1 minute. Uh, grab Chris Zofield. I lost it. There we go. Try to find the right one. There it is. We're now joined by our third place finisher. That's going to be Chris Zofield and the number 88 machine. Chris, this is Tillin and Tyler in the broadcast booth. Get a copy.
What's going on, fellas?
Man, you had an up and down race all night long. Wrecks galore. I mean, Chris, you would have thought I was out there on the racetrack with you with how many wrecks were out there.
Oh my goodness, man, I was caught up in just about everything, and I'd like to thank my pit crew because at one point I had 8 minutes of damage, so to come back 2 laps down and recover like that, that was a that was a lot of patience.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of patience had to be served there. And then all of a sudden, we seen you back on the lead lap. You're in sixth place, and then all of a sudden, you're battling for the race win.
Yeah, that I what a story that would have been, huh? But yeah, it was a lot of rough driving tonight. Um, a lot of cleanup needed. That's for sure.
Now,
Uh,
did you happen to see Brock's wild tumble going down into turn number three?
I did not.
Oh, it's crazy.
I saw a mess, and I know he showed his displeasure. That's for sure. I'll have to go back and watch it for. I'll have to go back and watch your broadcast here. You know.
Oh yeah, we did a two over on that one.
Yeah.
But
Get you guys.
yeah, it Chris, I miss racing with you. Obviously, we weren't the bestest of good friends out there on the racetrack because, me being aggressive. But
Hey,
yeah.
that's I've learned to be more aggressive. Uh, this season, I mean, I'm sitting in
Hmm,
eighth right now, and
I will.
working hard to get into the playoffs here and stay up there. So, looks like we're gonna make it, and I look forward to shooting for a championship.
Oh yeah, definitely going to be fun to watch you finally battle yourself up there for the championship. And I mean, you sat there and you were being aggressive the way you needed to be, and I think I have a part in doing that because I was aggressive with you, and we ended up doing what we needed to do. But Chris, before I let you get on out of here, if there's anybody that you want to give a shout out to on that number 88 machine, the floor is yours.
Well, obviously my pit crew, my fictional pit crew, and my pitch strategy. Uh, I'd like to thank my family for letting me have the time to come up here and play video games for fun after a long day of working, and I'd like to thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
All right, buddy, we're gonna go ahead and let you get on out of here. Celebrate that third place finish here tonight, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week as playoffs start here for round number one.
I'm excited, man. You guys have a great night. Thanks for what you do.
All right, thank you. All right, that's going to be our third place finisher. We're going to go ahead and move up to our second place finisher. And once I get him on in here, I think it's only right that we let you go ahead and take it on over as we are now joined with Justin Potts.
Justin, it's Dylan and Tyler in the booth. You got us, bud.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hoi, okay. Totally calm race, I would say, from your part, maybe. You
Uh,
had just I could say pretty much everything that happened. You got spun at one point, I believe, from the lead, and then there was an incident towards the end. And then, my goodness, I don't even know how to describe that last lap. First off, I guess just take us through the the wild race you had.
oh Lord, I'm still trying to recover from after the race, but pretty much was just taking it easy, letting them do whatever, and then I was leading for a little bit, which I was perfectly fine with. Fell back a little bit, got a bump from Gillard in the 54. He bumped me, didn't know why, and then Uh, half a lap later, they start wrecking yellow throws, and I was like, "Well, thank the Lord he did it, because if not, then I would have been part of it, and the result would have changed."
Yeah, so overall, I mean, take me through especially that last lap because I mean, the way I saw it, you had the 82 of Brock Whitehead just doing his best to keep as much of the lead as possible. You're of course, doing everything you can to make sure he's not doing that. Little contact there, and then of course at the end there, you just seems like you got just a little bit slowed up there on the last corner, allowing Jay to get past you there. Take us through that wild last lap for us.
Well, I was following behind Brock, because obviously I'd figured the lower lane would have checked up a little bit or got bumped, and then I was looking low, coming to three under Brock, and evidently he decided to cut his nose in front of me, which obviously I was just doing my part. It's the final lap. What more can you have done? And then I get sideways a little bit, and then here come two teammates, Gary, who's laps down, and then Jay. He were evidently three wide, and he found a hole and was able to get around me. So
Well, overall, it was definitely a wild day. If you'd like, Justin, go ahead and give any shout outs from the 38 crew if you'd like here before we send you off.
just want to shout out everyone here at RSR. They've been supporting me ever since the start of the season. Want to shout out my parents who are currently watching this in the living room, and they're full supportive of everything I do. Um, just want to shout out One Nation Society for being on the truck all season. And one final shout out is my grandpa, who is currently riding with me on the truck and has been riding with me ever since he passed. And he's going to be on the truck for the rest of the season. And so help me, I'm going to get a win with him on the truck.
I love the mindset, Justin. Well, we appreciate you joining us here in the booth. Congratulations on your second place run, and we'll see you again next race.
Yeah, appreciate it. And also, one last thing. Hell of a job for Jay, bro. Oh, if he didn't find that hole, I was yelling for him to push me, but then he found a hole, and I was like, I can't be mad at that. Oh Lord.
Alrighty, Justin. Well, we're gonna go ahead and let you get on out here, debrief with the team, get that feelings all calmed down, and great race ran by you. Good second place finish here tonight. Obviously, you wanted that race win for your grandpa on your truck, but it's coming. You're a fast guy. No matter what, you're gonna be up there towards the front. But we're gonna go ahead and let you get on out of here, celebrate that second place finish with the team, and we'll be talking to you again next week.
Appreciate it.
All right, this is going to be our second place finisher of Justin Potts. We're going to go ahead and move up to our first place winner. That's going to be Jay Monin in the number 08 machine. Jay, this is Dylan and Tyler Scozen in the broadcast booth. Got a copy.
Yes, sir. I got a copy.
All right, Jay, it's been a long time coming. Let's just put it right there.
Woo.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. You finally got your race win. That's going to be your interview, and good night. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Man, first win.
First win, what interview? I don't know what you're talking about. But no, man, it was an up and down race for you. Obviously, a lot of cautions out here tonight. Uh, you were involved in quite a few of them.
Yeah, just a few, like 2 or 3.
Who wasn't?
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
Me and Tyler weren't. Me and Tyler were safe.
That's true. That's true.
We have 0x coming from Daytona, so
Lucky.
yeah.
Thank goodness I could use it.
Yeah. Getting your race win here tonight at Daytona couldn't have happened at a better place. Obviously, it's the last race of the regular season before we go into playoff racing. Yeah, you got it done. I mean, kind of walk me through what happened on the last lap. You were in position to just kind of ride, and then all of a sudden, the seas parted, and you took
I
over the
mean,
race win.
as you said, the seas did part. I remember 2 to go. I was just sitting in line, just letting the train go. And when the white flag waved, I saw them just get squirrely up ahead. I saw Gary, right on my outside. He left a hole. I was like, okay, he left a hole. I jumped in the hole. Justin and I believe Brock went down to the infield, and Justin came up on the entrance of 3, and I remember Gary just kind of getting ahead. And then I was like, okay, it's either they're going to close or they're going to leave that hole open. And I had enough acceleration to get past Justin, who was slow from the previous mentioned incident. And I was like, there's a hole, might as well go for it. Because if there's a hole, there's a goal. And the goal ended up being the checkered flag, and here we are.
Yeah, obviously that's the way it ended up happening, and that's the way it needed to happen. Obviously, you and Justin getting a 1-2, and I believe maybe Chris Zofield getting a P3 because I seen he had a TH Designs truck out there.
Yep.
So,
not only did I win, I won the Dash for Cash too.
so what you're saying is half of that goes to the broadcasters because we
Not
picked
exactly.
we
I never
picked
said
you.
that.
Well, no, I'm saying it because we picked you to win.
You're joking.
No, I was joking.
Figured.
The guy that
I said you'd win. I don't know what he's talking about.
Hey,
wow.
I'm gonna Justin, I'm gonna rewatch this broadcast right now.
Yeah, no, I was going.
What broadcast? What do you mean? What?
Yeah,
The one
we're
that we're
not
currently
live.
on. You didn't know?
Yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
no. So what it is we didn't start the broadcast. We just thought we started the broadcast, and we're just talking.
That happens to the best of us. Thankfully, I have the
Yeah.
whole front on my Twitch.
Oh, shots fired. No, I'm just kidding. No, the picks that I had, the picks that I had were obviously Eddie Baker, who's been fast all season, and then Brock Whitehead, who's fast anywhere, and then Dark Horse. I picked Mike White. I didn't even think about you. I mean, I seen you, but I was like, I just don't know. His teammate TJ's blinking a lot. I don't know if he's gonna have the help, and Yeah, well, you know what? That's crazy because, you should have looked at the broadcast and be like, yeah, that's right, buddy. What's up? But
Uh,
Jay, the regular season's done. Now
yeah,
it's playoff mode. What is going to be your mindset going into the playoffs?
survive. Honestly, just like if I can get up there and go for it, get up there and go for it. In the end, it is what it is. I
Right.
can't really do anything major to change it. Because we got fast guys like Baker, Gary, and Mike S. White can like get up there a few times. But in the end, I think those two are going to be the ones in the final four. Just kind of find it. I feel like I can make a decent run though.
Yeah, definitely going to be something to watch and see how it goes. Obviously, in order to beat those guys, you got to beat them at their own strategy. And I know their strategy, and I can give you a little bit tips and tricks, especially at some of the tracks coming up. So
Hit me up.
help you on that. Yeah, I got you, buddy. We can get out there and practice a couple days. I'll show you what to do at some of these certain tracks. So, but Jay, if there's anybody on that number '08 machine you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
I'd like to shout out TH Designs. They're the ones who obviously made the truck, made it look nice and pretty for the Dash for Cash and getting me that win. I'd like to shout out all my teammates. I'd like to shout out Justin, Gary, and TJ, all for coming out and helping us tonight. And last, I'd like to shout out Ryan Sizemore for making the team in the first place. And I'd also like to shout out Whitehead Racing. They helped us out a little bit tonight. Definitely helped when we needed it the most. And shout out to them for helping us. And lastly, I want to shout out to you guys. You guys did a good job broadcasting tonight. Proud of every single race you do. And pretty much, thank you guys.
All right, Jay, we're gonna go ahead and let you get on out of here. Celebrate that race win here tonight. Can't wait to
Yes,
see
sir.
what you do in the playoffs and potentially make your way all the way to the season one, I guess you could say, of the Truck Series Championship 4. But that's going to do it for all for me and him up here in the broadcast booth. Congratulations on another well fought win here tonight. Can't wait to see what you do for the rest of the weeks.
Thank you guys. Y'all have a good night and take care.
You too. All right, Tyler. Two streams down.
Mhm.
One stream was really good,
Mhm.
caution free,
Mhm.
and then one stream was good,
Mhm.
but with a lot of cautions.
Correct.
Can you pick which one was which?
Um, I would only say the last one because my voice after this one is not perfectly 100% again. So,
Yeah,
um,
see, yeah.
I guess it depends on the day, but I mean, hey, both days, great racing overall. We saw two complete opposite days. I mean, even on two, the weird thing is these are similar type racetracks, but we saw two super different products. We also saw fuel racing and no cautions. Meanwhile, here we saw some strategy and cautions galore. So I I guess that depends on the person you are. I mean, you want to talk about entertainment? This race had tons of that. And me, I love some good entertainment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this race really did have all the entertainment in the world that we needed to have, but you know, that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. It's been a great race out here tonight. Obviously, Tyler, I'm pretty sure you get ready to go to bed. I'm pretty sure you might have work in the morning, or maybe you have to do something
I
that you
do.
have to do. And I go in at work in about 3.5 hours. 2 o'clock in the morning is going to come pretty quickly. But yeah, it's definitely been a blast having you up here in the broadcast booth. We work really good together. It's actually pretty fun to
Hmm.
call all the action. Can't wait to see what happens next week on Tuesday night. We're both going to be back in the broadcast booth for championship night for the Mid Atlantic Racing Series, Mars for short. And then playoffs start Tuesday night here in the Demon Truck Series for the Spooky Simulated iRacing League. So that's definitely going to be something fun out here to watch. But that's going to do it for myself and Tyler up here on the broadcast booth. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe to CRN. Hit the little bell notification so you guys get all of the notifications that you want from CRN and get notified when we go live. We go live pretty much all week, throughout the week. Definitely fun to watch. So if you haven't already, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, share with your mommy, dad, your sister, your dog, cat, ferret, chinchilla, whatever you got going on. Share it all the way around. Everybody that you know, get the name out there. Help us reach our next goal of 2,000 subscribers. Been a blast. Been a part of this for 2 years now and counting. As long as CRN has been alive, I've been right here by Jimmy Covert in Carl Hamburg's side. But that's going to do it for myself and Tyler Skozen in the broadcast booth. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.
Bye, chat.